Hi, I'm Alex.
Hey y'all, and I'm Ryan, and this is
Alex and Ryan Unscripted. Okay, y'all, so welcome back to episode 8.
Hey y'all.
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this episode is about finding it hard to be our true selves in social settings or professional settings, and as well as on social media. Did I? So, I guess to get into it, how you want to start it off? Because
I guess we could just hit on the setting.
Okay.
We can hit on the setting, go from there. What do we say? Job, professional. What? Yeah, we said social, professional. Okay. I guess we could just start with, professional setting. And that could be your job. That could be at a conference. That could be wherever that's a professional setting. I would say for me, how can I say this? So initially right now, my mind is going back to when I'm starting a job. When I'm starting a job, your girl is a fly on the wall. At least I try to be a fly on the wall, and I'm cracking up. So I remember I joined this, I started this job as a director for before and after school care. And I was sitting at this table by myself, right? And then these guys come join me, these women come join me. And they're like, oh, we saw you over here by yourself. We want you to be by yourself. And I'm just like, oh, thanks. When I join a job, I'm not I'm not myself. And when I say I'm not myself, it's like I am talkative, very outgoing, and all the above, right? But when I'm first joining a job, I like to observe. And don't get me wrong, even in my talkative, outgoing, bubbly state, I'm still observing you and the environment, the surroundings. But I generally try to be quiet because I just want a feel of who's around me and what's around me, just how things are ran. Because I'm new, I'm new to the crew. So I remember during training, like I wouldn't talk as much. I wouldn't give a lot of feedback, in the group settings and stuff when they asked us to talk and everything. Cause I really try to be observant. That's how I am when I join any job. I don't know. It's just something that I need to do for me. But one of the guys was like, I know you're not this quiet. And I was like, I'm sorry. Do you know me? And he was like, just by that response, I know you not quiet. And I was just cracking up. I was like, yeah, I'm not. Like, I didn't tell him that, but I was like, yeah, you got me. And he was like, what more do you have to say? Like, cause I can go on, okay? But I'm just like, no, that's all I gotta say. And I don't know why. I don't know. I want to get a feel of everybody first. And yeah. But I'm just cracking up because it's like dang near everywhere I go, I get that same response. Like, I know you're not this quiet. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. I was like, what do you see? Like, how am I acting for people to respond like that? And there's no coincidence that everywhere I go, everybody is saying, you're holding back.
Yeah.
How you know I'm just not a quiet person? Which I'm not, but I can be.
I mean, yeah. So then is that even you not being your true self, or is that just you?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, granted, I feel like there are people who just show everything up in the beginning. But I don't think that doesn't mean like you're not your true self. And that's coming from someone who is shy in any setting. It don't matter what setting. It could be professional, social media.
No. I was gonna say, don't say social media because I feel like
media?
I do not. And I want to hit on that too when we talk about social media. Alex, on your videos, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I love this for her. I do. Because you could see you in
Yeah.
that setting and just how like funny you could be, silly. And now, granted, you may not go like all, hundreds out here, like you just put it all on the table. But it's like we definitely see a glimpse of that, like just how you think, your thought process. I don't know. I feel like you're definitely more outgoing on your social medias,
Mm.
versus being in like a social setting. I don't even want to say professional because of course not.
Yeah.
I can imagine, but social setting, yes.
Okay.
But again, it depends on what social setting we're in. Because if we're around people who you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know them, that's different from versus you with your girls.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Okay. I
feel
can see
like,
that.
yeah, and I feel like the second part, like that, you with your girls kind of, Alex,
Mhm.
is what comes out in your social media. But even with that, I feel like on your social medias, I saw a different side of you versus when we're just hanging out. And I
Really?
was like, oh, Alex could be a little silly. Like, she
Not silly.
she's funny.
Really? I didn't even. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Hmm.
Just an
Interesting.
observation.
Yeah. Like definitely. I mean, we obviously know in social settings. I think I mentioned it before on here. I can be socially awkward. If I'm not comfortable, I'm not talking. Like, kind of just is what it is, and I kind of just accepted it as me. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
just me. But like, the more comfortable I am with whoever it is, I mean, I guess more of me will come out. But I don't consider that as me not being myself. Because I'm with that with everyone in the beginning, no matter who you are,
Yeah.
you know? Like, I know a few of my friends, like, I've heard it in college before, but then I also heard it with the girl my last job I worked at, that they didn't think that I was like their actual friend. Like, oh, girl, I didn't know you was my friend. I'm like, yeah, you're cool. You know what I mean? Like, but it's just
But
me.
were you comfortable? Because you said like once you're comfortable, then a little bit comes out,
Yeah.
and it's like for her to. This is just an observation from her to say, "Oh, I didn't think we was rocky like that." Were you? Well, obviously you left the job, but do you think you got to a point where it's like, okay, she can see more of me, or she did see a little more of you, but not to the point where it's like she's seeing all of you. And when I say
Yeah.
all of you, is of course not all, but
Yeah. I mean,
enough to where it's like, yeah, she likes me.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, that for me, that takes time to get comfortable. So, like,
Yeah.
we talked a little bit like at work here and there, we'll say hi, like, hey girl, hey, whatever. And then it became, we did it more and more, and that built up comfortability to where we in the meeting or stand up meeting or whatever, and we're always like next to each other talking. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Or like, don't let us be in the same lane together. Oh, we laughing and talking most of the time.
Oh.
Where other people who are watching, like who I don't talk to, they're gonna be like, oh, she talking. Like, oh, she can talk. You know what I mean? Like,
That part. Oh,
it's
she
just like,
talked.
yeah. It's just like, it's
Yeah.
just, the more comfortable I am with someone, the more it will, I guess I
Wow.
will, yeah, like quote unquote, be myself. But I don't
Yeah.
think that's not me. That's just how I am. So I'm like, that is me. It's just some people I just don't feel comfortable with. And to me, it's just like, I'm not going to talk because I just don't feel comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Thing.
Would you say then each setting, or you could be in the same setting, just calls for a different version of you?
I guess so. Yeah. Because I mean, obviously, like how you mentioned before, like professional and like social. Obviously, it's going to
Yeah.
be two different versions of you. Doesn't mean that it's not your true self. It's just
Yeah.
some things there's not considered professional. You know what I mean? So I'm not bringing that into this professional setting. But I think more into like little subcategories where it's like, well, mine's individual. Depending on the person, you'll
Yeah.
see a different side of me.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Now that you broke it down like that, and I like that, I guess for me, it's the setting.
Okay.
For me, it's the setting that calls for different side. Because, like, I think what people seem to, it's kind of just a blanket statement, just a general statement. Yes, I'm outgoing, talkative, bubbly, all of that, high energy. I'm also a closed book.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, when talking to people, I don't know what they think, like, I don't know. So a lot of people generally come to me and they tell me all their business, right? I'm just a listening ear. A listening ear, and then if you want my opinion, I'm gonna give it, right?
Right.
But it's like, I don't know. I guess, okay, so one thing, okay, just roll with me here because so many things are going through my mind right now. I like that you have a guard up initially.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the guard isn't really up like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also like, okay, so especially in college. Well, before I came to college, in high school is where it started. I would call everybody friend, right? I'll call everybody friend. Oh, that's my friend. That's my friend. Don't know them. But when I say that, granted, I mean, the other person would be like, oh, yeah, we friends. But I'm just like, you're not really my friend. It's just what I say. Like, and so coming to college, I'll do the same thing. Oh, that's my friend. That's my friend.
I remember that.
Ryan, you can't call everybody your friend. They not really my friend. That's just what I say. It's just, hey,
Right.
friend. Like, that's just a name I give people because I really don't know names either. So I gotta call them. I just call them friend because me and names are just not a thing. It's hard for me to remember names. But I am learning now. Like, even with that, like, you definitely got to be careful because some folks are just kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would just call them friend, but not really. I know they're not my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Darn it. And I just kind of lost the point I
Oh,
was
dang.
trying to make. Okay, we were talking about settings. Oh, the individual. So when it comes down to the individual, okay, let me say this.
Oh, your mind is going.
Girl, I'm trying to narrow it down, and I can't seem to I can't. I'm trying to bring it home. Girl, just gotta keep rocking and rolling, baby. Put your seatbelt on. Okay. I'm trying to bring it home, but then another thing will pop up and I go there.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the setting. I say this all the time. My job is not going to get who I am outside of my work. And of course, it's like, well, duh, because it's a different setting, but it's like, excuse me, I want to say completely different, but I am. I am the Ryan I am now at work, especially in my like leadership roles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as lenient. I'm not as bubbly. Now, I still am. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But just not as much. I'm definitely more serious.
Right.
Um, but this is the thing when it comes to me. I would prefer not to be as such. Like, I feel like I haven't got to the point where it's like, show up as you. And of course, like being in a leadership role, it does require more structure,
Yeah.
you know, more of a serious kind of tone, but you can still be you. And I feel like for me, sometimes I lose that
Mm-hmm.
at work. And so then for me, it's like at work, am I my true self? Bits and pieces, yes. It's just at the same time, I feel like because it calls for this version of me, I really can't be the version I want to be. And I feel like that's something that as a leader, especially when you have staff, like you just gotta, I don't know. That's something that I can hopefully one day like mend. I don't know if I'm making sense, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So with that, what do you consider like your true self? Like, what's your true self? Who are? That sounds weird. Who are you?
At work
Just in
or
general, like, yeah, and like, no, just you. Like, what do you consider to be your true self? Some like characteristics or like,
yeah. So okay, so like you know how like before we hopped on here we talked about like evolving, how like
mm-hmm,
you evolved from college till now. I would say for me, current day, I definitely evolved into something. For me, it seems completely different. I'll say for others too, because yeah. So growing up, I went from shy to not speaking
mm-hmm,
to not getting me to shut up at all. And I was really loud. I was so loud,
mm-hmm.
embarrassingly loud in high school and middle school. Get to college. I toned down from high school, but I'm so extroverted. I'm heavily extroverted. I can't, when I got to college, I could not be alone. I could
Mm-hmm.
not be alone. And I remember always going to the lounge to, you know, hang out and do my homework. Work never got done. Like my friends were like, go in your room and stay there till your work is done. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Thank you, Lord. And I also come from a big family too. So it's like, what was your space? You don't have that space. And and I think that was part of me like not wanting to be alone because your girl was never alone.
Right.
And it wasn't until my junior year where I was like scaling back and the thing is, I feel like I was craving alone time, but felt so uncomfortable and awkward spending alone time that I just didn't do it until my junior year. I felt like it called for that. And I was like, okay, being by yourself really isn't so bad. Like we can do this. We can be alone here with our thoughts and this work but fast forward to present day, I love alone time. Um, I would say again, you know, I was heavily extroverted. Now I feel like I am ambiverted. Even there was one point where I was just like, oh my gosh, am I turned to an introvert? But I don't think so because I don't know. Introversion, I don't know. That definition kind of just, I don't understand it. So I wouldn't say that I've turned introverted, but definitely an ambivert, but more so like, was it introverted, extroverted?
What's an ambivert?
So it was a combination of both, introvert and extrovert. But instead of like, so like, you know how they're like, oh, people give extroverts energy, like being around people gives you energy. I did used to be like that, heavy. Like, I love being around people. It gives me so much energy. But now it's the opposite. I get drained. And what's
Okay.
crazy is I feel like, oh, I'm about talking forever, but I feel like sometimes a part of me be like, maybe this was you all along
Mm.
and you're unlearning or you're slowly actually becoming yourself. Cause I ain't gonna hold you, Alex. Oh my gosh, it's actually kind of make me sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so in college, when I would go back to my dorm room, you know,
Mm-hmm.
after leaving y'all and stuff, like it was like, like I don't know.
Is that
I
a
don't
good
know.
side or a bad side? Like a
More
side.
like I wouldn't say good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like I took a mask off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Um,
So
And
why do you think that is?
it's me, my
Mm.
people pleasing.
So you feel like you had to like perform,
Yes.
like to like. But why do you think that's so? If you like want to get into it.
Yeah, no, we can. So growing up at home, like it was just a lot of drama, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of drama, a lot of drama, a lot of trauma. And, my siblings, a couple of my siblings had like mental health disorders.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything could trigger them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it just got to a point where it's like we walking on eggshells at times. So it's like, okay, I can't say XYZ. I can't do XYZ because it might trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, a good day in the house is when everybody's happy. No, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Everybody's smiling, laughing. You know, of course, that's any given day. Like if that's in the household, of course, it'd be a great day. But it's just like, even though we smiling, we're not okay.
Right.
You know, like uh, yeah, it was just a lot of mental health disorders going on in that house, and a lot of no, they were getting treated, but you know, some of us, and I say us because I do think I have ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a whole other conversation. Um, but yeah, just being in that house, I feel like I had to put on a mask as well.
Mm.
Not all the time, because they got the brunt of a lot of stuff. But it's like to keep peace, we had to learn to not do certain things or say certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And so when going to school, um, that just trickled into all of my relationships.
Yeah.
Cause drama or anything would just make my nerves jump. Like, honestly. Um, can I be a confrontational person? Yes. Cause where I'm from, growing up, you had to stand your ground as well. Like, I don't know. It's so, there's no balance. There's no balance. There's days where you had to stand 10 toes down, get up in the face and let them know what's up. There's days where it's like, okay, let me tiptoe around this area. There's days where it's like, let me stay in this corner, just be out the mix, be
Yeah.
not even a fly on the wall, just out the way.
Yeah.
Um, and so that trickled into my relationships. I notice if I am more happy, more bubbly, now the outgoing piece, I don't know. I feel like that was just me as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of it is just me, but a lot of it was also for me to have a good time, for others around me to have a good time. It calls for this
Person.
person.
This kind of, what would you
Yeah.
call it? Part of you to come out, kind of thing.
Yes. But then it's like, oh, when there's moments where I don't want to talk, I don't, I just don't want to talk. I don't want to smile. I don't want to be the, I don't
Happy-go-lucky,
know.
outgoing person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I notice how the dynamics in like our friendship, not even our friendship, but like the group, like the energy, everything would just be kind of off. And it's like, oh, it's on me to, and again, this is just me internally, like nobody was saying, well, when people are like, oh, what's wrong? Or like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with Ryan, like we got da da da, like all of that will actually get on my nerves because like I'm actually okay. I just don't want to laugh. I don't want to smile, and it's not that something's wrong with me either. I just don't want to do that.
Right.
But then it's like, okay, cool. The more we laugh, the more we talk, the more we smile, the more we're outgoing, the more we're doing X, Y, Z, which is something that is a part of me. But to do it all the time when you actually don't want to do that,
Right.
it's draining. You know, and then it is becoming performative.
And that's why it's draining.
Yes.
Because it's like in that moment, you're not being truly you, which, yes, is that a part of you, but in that moment, it's like, I don't want to be this. I
Yeah.
don't want to be the one who's always talking and like laughing. Like, no, right now, I just want to be chill. I just want to sit here and watch y'all. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I just
Like
want to
half of y'all
listen to
do in
y'all.
this group. Like this isn't me 24/7.
Right.
And why couldn't I say that? I don't know. Like I just
You know what's
to
crazy?
keep
I feel like mine is the opposite.
explain. Go ahead. Go ahead. Your turn.
No, I just wanted to say that, but I want you to finish what you were about to say. I'm just saying, I just now thinking like it's literally the opposite.
I was just gonna say to keep peace, to keep from the questions happening, to
Hmm.
keep from low morale. Like, all right, let's pump it up. Let's like I'm the cheerleader. We gotta bring it up, turn it up a notch. Like, because sometimes I feel like if I didn't do it, it was just I don't know. Like when one of our friends would be like, "Oh, make me laugh." Oh my goodness, that would get on my nerves.
Because then that's really like, so you really want me to sit here and perform for you for real?
Yeah, I'm not your court jester. Okay. And that's what definitely turned me off then. I would
Yeah,
do the complete opposite, of course, right? Because then I was like, but
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. Because I do remember. Do I remember this or just from you talking? Because I still remember. But like, where there are moments where, like in our friend group, it would be like you're quiet, which from what we know is like, okay, well, you are more of outgoing, super bubbly, you know, talk and love to like laugh, like have a good time. Basically, you're just someone who likes to have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And to see something different is like, oh, is something wrong? Like, is something going on? Because usually when you see a change, a dramatic change, is like, let's check in on this person to make sure this person is good, you know. And then it's like, I think it also kind of comes like people be like, oh yeah, I'm okay, but it's like they really not okay. But for you, it was kind of like the opposite, like not opposite, but like when you're quiet, you're like, no, I'm good. But like when you're this super bubbly, it's like sometimes I'm not good when I'm actually this outgoing
Yeah.
because you are performing. And the fact that you even said you would get to your room and just have a sigh of relief, like I could finally like unmask myself. That is huge to actually
Yeah.
feel like you have to perform around your friends. And then it's like, well, dang, because like you said, it is you, but it's not always you. And so around your friends, like people you care about, you shouldn't have to unmask yourself at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, childhood trauma is like, boy, like sometimes it's not
Yeah.
trauma. It's just stuff that, I mean, it is trauma, but it's stuff that we have learned, not even realizing until you get older. And you're like, yo, I'm exhausted from just being around my friends, and it's because I'm over here. When I was a kid, this is what happened. I had to do this, and it's like, dang,
Yeah.
this stuff is real.
Yeah. And again, like I didn't have the language for it. Even in college, I didn't have the language for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just like, I can't, and that's why part of me was also like, I can't blame y'all because this is how I showed up. This is the part of me that I showed you all. But it's like, even when I would let that guard down a little bit, I saw the reaction. And rather than me being like, hey, y'all, this is also me
Yeah.
because we're human, right? But because I would see that reaction every time, it was just like, okay, they just won't see that part of me
Right.
because they can't handle it, which goes back to childhood. Like, okay, y'all can't handle this part of me. And I feel like that just became a cycle over time. Like, oh, they can't handle that part of me. So let's just keep this up. And then when we're away, we can breathe.
But
Yeah.
what I was saying earlier is like with your situation, I think mine is like the complete opposite because I was super
Yeah.
quiet.
Like,
And I
mm,
knew there was a part of me that is like, is like inside of me, like kind of like screaming to try and come like to get out. But it's like,
Yeah.
girl, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable yet. Like, I was comfortable, but like not fully with everyone that was like in our friend group. So yes, like obviously like you, I was super comfortable with, and a few other people. Honestly, if I'm being real, like one other person. Not to say that I wasn't comfortable with other people, but it was a certain level of comfortability to
Yeah.
where I could really just be myself. Which is why y'all saw it when I got drunk. I couldn't control it anymore. So it came
Be
out.
laughing.
That stuff came out where I would just say crazy stuff, just do
You're so
stuff, like,
funny.
you
Yeah.
know. But like for me, it was super quiet. But I
Mm-hmm.
knew I had some sort of. I'm not a super outgoing person, but I do like to have fun. So like, I mean, I think I still struggle with that in a sense, but like, I do think like similar, like it does yeah, kind of come from childhood, like stuff that has happened. But I mean, I do think it kind of runs in the family too, because like most of my family is more on the quieter side. We're not super outgoing.
I
We're
feel
all
like your
mostly.
aunt is. Is she more outgoing than y'all?
I think now that she's older, yes, but when she was younger, she used to be a really quiet kid.
Oh.
Yeah, but now she kind of is more of like outgoing. Now my uncle, he's very outgoing. Like he is like the talker. He'll talk, like he's super outgoing. But then that depends on
Yeah.
social settings. It really depends on the setting too. Because like I would consider my sister more of outgoing compared to me. I don't know. It just really depends. But it's like there's always like one person in the family that's like more outgoing than everyone else, or like outgoing as in like more. They speak up more. Like they'll
Yeah.
talk more, or like willing to get in those positions to do that. Whereas me, I'm like, no, I'm gonna just sit back here and chill. Y'all got it. I mean, y'all talk it up. Now, if I want to say something, I'll speak, but other than that, I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But I think it is like the settings really is really what it is. But looking
Mm-hmm.
at these notes, and even with being in therapy, I do think a lot of mine can stem from like confidence. Um, I think I do lack of confidence, and like in therapy, we talk about like I typically don't take up space. I allow others to take up as much space, and I'm just like, all right, well, here's my little bubble in the corner. Like, whereas I know that it's in me to be quote unquote my true self, like how I am around you or like my family, but like, I think it's a lack of confidence to where I don't show it from the beginning. So I say comfortable, but it could be a cover up for confidence. Possibly. I don't know. Maybe that's something I should talk about my therapist with. But
That's
like,
good though. I definitely understand that. Yeah.
yeah, it could be a cover up. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, okay. So in college, and just because this is where we first met,
Mhm.
and I've seen you evolve from freshman year to senior year. Um, so because you said confidence, could you look back or see there was like certain moments where maybe you wanted to say something or do something, and um this could be me just, I don't know, not reading it right, but like you're afraid of how we would react, or you were um I don't know, because the thing is, like you said, when you would be like, a little tipsy. I don't know. I don't know if I said this out loud or not, but I was like, that's Alex. Like, cause I was like, I don't know. Like, I think she's a really silly person, but she doesn't show that much. Like, I remember like, and there's no point where I'm like drawing this from, but I
Yeah.
remember in undergrad, I was like, this girl is silly and she's holding back from us. Like, she's holding back. And I don't know. It's like in those moments, like, you know, it was just, I don't know, just funny, I guess, interesting just to see how you respond to like certain things and
Hmm.
how you would act. So I was just like, oh, she's funny. I mean, we know you're funny anyway, but it's just like, oh, there's like, you definitely have more personality, like more of you
Hmm.
came out then versus like, you know, how you normally are.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of sad that, like, for y'all to see, like, in the beginning, for y'all to see, quote unquote, my true self, I had to be drunk. And that goes to show, and for me to get drunk, it kind of took a lot. I'm not gonna say like I was drinking 12 shots, but like
Yeah.
it took a minute because I was so like in control of maybe that is a performance for me. You know, I have to be a certain way in order for, I don't know what, for people not to judge me, for people not to like side eye me, even though when I was drunk, I'm sure y'all was looking like, what the, looking at me like, whoa, that's not, we usually don't see her like that, but it still wasn't like it wasn't like a bad judgment, but it was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's a little, you stepping out, like you stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Ain't she funny? I'm
But
cracking
like,
up.
but it took a lot for me to get out of that because I was so in control. Because all up
Yeah.
until college, I was the quiet girl that never talked. Literally never talked. Like there would be kids sitting next to me like, do you talk? Head nod. Yeah. Like, or like, no. I just shook my head yes and no. Until I had to like, if we had like speech class, I had to talk some stupid stuff. I couldn't stand it. But like, other than that, I did not talk at all. Like I
Yeah.
had dudes walking me to my class. We don't even talk. You're walking me to my class and it's dead silent. Like, sir. So I really did. But in college, I actually did talk eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the alcohol, it kind of kicked in. Like I think it would help in those moments, obviously. Like, and I'm sure there were moments where I did want to speak up and say something, or like speak up and like show me,
Mm-hmm.
but like it was hard at times. It's just because I think I've been so quiet in social settings that it's like, excuse me. And this may be like crazy to think. Hopefully people can relate somehow, some way. But like in social settings, I'd be like, I don't know when to say something. When do I jump in and say something? I don't want to interrupt in mid conversation. I don't want to be rude. Okay, do I say it now?
Oh.
Well, then dang, now it's too late. They already passed what I was going to say. So now I got to think of something else what I'm going to say. Because now I can't go back to the old conversation and what we talked about. It's like, okay, well, do I jump in now? But what if I say that? Are they going to think crazy like of me? Like, are they going to judge me? Or what if I say this, I'm going to say, are they going to have a rebuttal back to it? And then now I got to sit here and look stupid because I don't have anything else to say. Like it be
Oh no.
101 questions going in my head super fast, just in the middle, like just in a conversation that could be not even a minute long. And I done thought of so much stuff. So then to quiet it, it's just like, I ain't got nothing to say. Like I'm just not going to say anything because I don't know. Like
Oh my gosh.
yeah, like it's which is why in social settings, I can be super exhausted. Like even to this day, like I can get super exhausted. Now, if it's like one on one, and say we're in a social setting, but like I'm not talking to everybody else. It's just me and
Mm-hmm.
this person and we're just having a good time. I can do that. But if we're in a bigger group and it's like, it's a constant like mental thing, like of thinking, which becomes exhausting for me.
Wow, that is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I see
Yeah.
what you mean. Like it is the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl. Cause I can't everything you just explained, yeah, I get it, like I hear you, but I can't relate. Wow, that is draining.
Yeah.
Dang. Cause I didn't even think, I mean, yes, people are different, like we're all different, but to sit and like contemplate that, cause okay, so this is the thing. I am an overthinker, right? I am. I overthink a lot, but my overthinking is mainly over, I don't know if this makes sense, but like mainly over my actions and like
Mm-hmm.
what I need to do or a situation that happened or I don't know. It's always something regarding like actions.
Yeah.
Now certain settings, like what you said, okay, I guess I can't relate. What you said, like, I really want to answer the conversation, but I don't know how it'll come off or how I would sound. Yeah, there's moments where I'm just like, okay, do I say that or should I not say that? I'm not gonna say that. But then there's moments like, just say it. And so then I I say it. I'm just like, girl. But then sometimes I get a good reaction, sometimes I don't, But I'm just like, whew, at least I said it. Because sometimes something in me be like, I can't move on till I say it. So when you're like, oh, I'm just gonna let it go. It's like, man, there's moments where I'm just like, yeah, I want to let it go, but I can't. So I just say it. And
Yeah.
so it's like, man, for you to say, for you to want to say something that you don't, I feel like that's a lot too.
Yeah. It is.
Like, dang, Alex.
But see, with you saying that, there's this. So like, I can be like, "Ooh, I want to say this," and then be like, not knowing when to come in or something like that, and then I'm able to like just let it go. Like, all right, whatever. I didn't say it. Cool. But then if it came to, I actually said something, and the
Mm-hmm.
reaction of people was like, sometimes even if it's a good reaction,
Mm-hmm.
I still later that day would be like, well, I could have said it this. I could have said it differently to maybe get
Mm-hmm.
like a better reaction or to get a different reaction, a reaction that I not wanted, but like just like something different. Or like if I had like a negative reaction, don't let it be a negative
Mm-hmm.
reaction. It don't even have to be a negative. It could be a neutral reaction. So I'm like, oh yeah, 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 like cool, yeah. And then they move on. I'm like, did they just
Mm-hmm.
dismiss me? Did they even hear what I said? And at the end of the day, I'm thinking that. And then I can't let that get out of my head. Like that's stuck in my head
Wow. Yeah.
until it becomes, I guess, so loud that it's quiet in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Like it becomes, I don't know. I think maybe just so loud that where it's always there. Like it'll always be there, but it's quiet. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm picturing, and let me know, but I'm picturing they say like sweep it under the rug. Like, even though
Mm-hmm.
it's under the rug, it's there, and eventually
Yeah.
you'll trip over it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Basically,
Wow.
I'm gonna keep tripping over it. And it could be like, I'm sure there's situations that had happened in
Mm-hmm.
college that will pop up in my head. And I'm like, I should have never said that at all.
Well, first, thank you for sharing that, because, man, now you got me thinking, like, just going back to, like when we first met, and not when we first met, but like when we first met, and then going into senior year. So what? Okay. So what do you think caused that evolution? Because yeah, when we first met you, at least I can say what I did, because oh my gosh, now I'm thinking like you was across the hall from me, and I would be rolling up in your room all the time. And granted, you wouldn't speak as much, but you would say like little things here and there when it's just me and you.
Yeah.
And I even noticed like when it's just me and you versus when all the other girls came in, you didn't talk. Yeah. And I'll be like, And I was like, maybe because I'm in her room. I said, but then again, we're all still getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was like, I guess I would say because I still want to ask you that question though. But I guess for me, how can I say this? No, I guess that was just me. Like, I am, so yes, being outgoing is me. Like, it is me. But the thing is, coming into that program, I was like, I'm leaving here with friends. I'm leaving here because I didn't really know nobody. So I'm not about to go into this whole experience and not have nobody with me.
Right.
So then I feel like that also pushed me to like, hey, I'm so and so. Like, I don't know. But then again, I'm cracking up because senior year was the junior in high school. This one guy was making fun of me. He was joking. He was like, "You should become the mayor of your city." He said, "Because everywhere you go, you're like, hi, I'm Ryan. How are you? Like, nice to meet you." He was like, "I wish my mom was like you, so she could have more friends." Dang.
Oh wow.
So yes, there's definitely like I am outgoing, right? It's just whatever. Coming to that program, I said I'm leaving here with friends. So I feel like that definitely pushed me to also just be, and then I just whatever. Let's get back to you. I noticed that difference versus you and I, and then versus when the whole gang get together.
Right.
But again, going from freshman year to senior year, I noticed an evolution.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think sparked that growth or built that confidence? Because I will say this though, because everything you just told me, like as far as like what goes through your mind, I'm thinking about our group dynamic and opinionated all across the board. So I can imagine you versus all of us, not versus, but like amongst all of us.
Yeah.
Girl, it must have been like what's a doggy dog?
It's like this. In the conversations, I'm like this. I definitely could. Where have been able to get into that conversation? Y'all would be talking. There's so much. Listen,
Interrupting each other,
yes.
girl.
In which, looking back, it's crazy that I was in y'all, like in the friend group, because this one shy girl who don't talk, and then everyone else is just like,
and not just talking, but opinionated.
Yeah, like y'all talked. Everyone had an opinion, and I'm just like I remember like even sometimes we would have like group meetings to sit and talk about each other. I'm like, oh goodness, here we go. Don't get me wrong, entertaining at the time.
I'm sure.
But like I'ma sit right here like I usually do and just have y'all go at it. Cause y'all would go at it.
Nobody backs baby in the corner.
My goodness.
But that's the thing for me. Anytime I feel like boop boop, not wrong analogy. Anytime I feel like I'm being attacked,
yeah,
or wronged, yeah, shots fired. Like I'm coming. Just know I'm coming, and I could be a one-man army. That's what I will say. Because again, from where I feel like you gotta stand up for yourself. Yeah. All that holding back goes out the window. That's even for now. That's what I say. Even when it comes to work, anytime I'm feeling like you're pushing me, like I'm coming for you.
Right.
All right. I won't say coming. I'm defending myself. But yeah, sorry. So go ahead. Like, what sparked that evolution?
I just think experience, being being around a group of young women because in high school, like I did have like I had one good friend, which who I'm friends now with still.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have like family members that like who were give or take my age. But a lot of times it's really like I didn't really have a big friend group. I never had a big friend group. It's always like I find one person and cool, we click. That's all I need. You know what I mean? I don't need this big, huge. I don't need about 20 friends. I just need a select few. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, but I don't. I think it's just experience being able to see a variety of people come from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Have everyone just being themselves, or you know what I guess look to be themselves. I don't know. Heck, now that we're talking about this conversation, I don't know. You know, you truly don't
Right.
know
Isn't that?
people's experience and like how they
Yeah.
are and who they. You know what I mean? Like it's. But yeah, I think it's really that. And just being in college, being out of the house, away from your parents,
Mm-hmm.
um, being around other people who are similar to me. And I think I mean, just learning from all y'all too, is just helped build. Cause I'm like, oh, this person is confident. How can I be more confident? Cause I knew back then, like I lacked confidence. I've always known, you know what I mean? That's no surprise, you know, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not gonna lie, I do think even being drunk in moments and then this is kind of weird and bad to say, but it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Being validated in those moments, even though I was drunk. So like I remember before you saying you did not like seeing yourself, having some
Oh,
drinks in
yeah.
you. And I
Yeah.
didn't either. Like I don't like to see them videos because I'm like, whoa, that seems out of character for me. But
Yeah.
in a sense, it's really not out of character for me. It's just out of character for y'all to see me. Wait, how does that go?
Mm. Yeah.
Like that is me, but only my family sees that. Like only like I remember like when I was in high school, there was a few kids that like who were younger than me, but I was always cool with them. Like they would come to the house. Like my sister, like some of them were my sister's friends, and we would just hang out. Like there was one girl who her and I were cool, and that girl was like in elementary school. She was she might have been in middle school. But she always hung around me. Like we just like clicked.
Mm-hmm.
And we would just do crazy, crazy dances in the kitchen, just being goofy. And she was very goofy. So I think just seeing people be themselves,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I can be myself because I know you're not going to judge me because you acting crazy. So if I get to acting crazy, you can't judge me because we both acting crazy together. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so like, I think just seeing people be themselves and even like messing up and still being okay, it's like, I can do that. Like I can mess
Mm-hmm.
up and still be okay. These people are still going to accept me regardless. So even like being drunk and quote unquote being validated. I mean, y'all won't validating me being drunk, but it's like who I was showing to be while I was
Yeah.
drunk. I'm like, well, maybe I can be this way without being drunk and still be okay. Like y'all not gonna be like, oh, she crazy or oh, she weird. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I think it's just the experience that I had and seeing that y'all still accept me, even when I was quiet, but when I did get to acting out, like y'all accepted me with both.
Yeah.
And then even for y'all to like push me to be like, to I don't have to be shy. Like you can you guys made it comfortable for me to be myself. Cause like even with this talking, like having this conversation, I'm sure even to this day, there's moments where like it could be a conversation. And then I would see you look over me like, Like, yeah, do you want to say something? Like, I know you got something to say. Like, you could go ahead and say something. And it's just me like, like, I'm good. Knowing that I probably did have something to say, but it's just hard for it to come out. Even if you gave me that, like, that space to even, like, say something. But, yeah. It's just the experience.
Yeah.
Being around a group of, being around a group of young women trying to figure it out.
I love how you say a group of young women. Listen, we was a trip, okay? I don't know if y'all picking up what you put in. We were a trip.
Yeah.
Funny for sure. Funny, opinionated.
I just remember just moments. This stuff is hilarious. Like, I'm sure, like, some stuff is probably not hilarious because, like, you know, some stuff is deeper, you know, not like arguments, but like, you know what I mean? Not that y'all was fighting for y'all lives, but y'all was fighting for y'all opinion to be heard, like, you know, to be heard, or like, you know, hey, no, this is my opinion. It's like, no, well, that's wrong. This is, especially with some of the friends that we had, they, you know, they was, yeah, that's wrong. Like, but I feel like every friend groups needs someone who's just along for the ride. Like, y'all got it. I didn't really like, I'm not gonna say I didn't have an opinion, but sometimes it's like, is my opinion required? Do I really need to have an opinion in this situation? And I feel like I do remember someone saying like, well, you have to have an opinion. Do I?
Yeah.
Because I don't really care sometimes.
Yeah.
You know,
trying to think like half the stuff we talked about, just talking.
Yeah, like
just talking.
And then probably half the time it's like both of y'all are right. Y'all just have two different perspectives. Like, y'all basically saying the same thing. It's just different words coming out. You know, like, oh, goodness. Y'all was a trip. Y'all stressed me out. No, I'm just kidding. But it was fun. What it would take for all of us to get together and go on a trip.
Ryan has left the group.
That would
Ryan has left the group chat.
That'd be crazy. I think it would be fun if all of us had like a little bit of drinks. I think it would not calm the mood, but it would, you know, relax a little bit, and it'll kick in some memories that would get rid of other stuff, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully kick on all the good memories.
Yeah, we definitely have some good memories for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Funny memories.
Because y'all was funny. Y'all was goofy. But, oh goodness. But I guess, do you have any more questions?
No, I'm good.
This is the last thing I was just going to say was, since we were talking opinions, and I just thought it kind of connected, that regardless of being like your true self, this is something I need to keep in my head at all times. Regardless of being your true self or not, people are always going to have an opinion on you. Like, people are always going to have something to say about you, regardless if you're doing good or wrong, or like you're being yourself.
Yeah.
It's always going to be something.
Always.
Yeah. People always. Regardless.
I would say this. I think you said in your family, you're not the most outgoing. For me and my immediate family, man, I am out of all of us. Now, is that to say like they're not going to speak up? No, we all will for sure. But just when it comes to social settings, I I am the most outgoing in my family, and yeah, they all have their moments for sure.
Right.
But everybody's always got something to say,
Yeah.
family included, family, friends, strangers. At the end of the day, it just, know who you are, know where you are in your life. Nobody's perfect. We all have room to grow, and we're all supposed to grow and evolve. And if you're around people who doesn't celebrate or want to see you evolve, then you got to move away.
Yeah.
Move away or distance yourself for a bit, until you can really become the person, who you truly want to be. Love
Mm-hmm.
yourself, appreciate yourself, flaws and all. That's what I had to learn to do. Like, your girl is quirky, okay? Your girl, I have my moments where it's like somebody sign her up for Looney Tunes because this girl it's, it's a trip. So I definitely have my moments. And also I'm learning, like, it's not for everybody to experience those moments with you either.
Nope.
And that is A-OK.
Yep.
It's probably better that way too.
Yeah. That's where, like, I look at it as, if I don't get comfortable with someone, that it's okay. Maybe that person's just not meant for me. But the people who I do, like, I would say the people who are in my life now, I'm grateful for them. Because I feel like I have grown with them. They have shown a part. They have pulled out a part of me, kind of thing. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just keeping my energy, like, clean, keeping it good, kind of thing. But one thing real quick before I wanted to say earlier, but I didn't know how to look. See, I know how to jump in. I don't know. Just whatever, mind. But I do remember you saying, was it in college? It was sometime. I don't know, that you, like, how you said it used to be shy. And whenever you would say that, I'd be like, ain't no way she's shy. There's no way she was ever shy. Like, there was no way, because who I knew you as was the girl coming into my room and just talking. Like, we just know each other, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I had to take a step back and realize that she probably was. Who am I to say that she wasn't? You know what I mean? Just because she's not now. Like, but then I have noticed, I would say now, not when we were in college, but as we gotten older and in being in certain situations, whether it's traveling or just like certain things, that there are times where I have seen you have want to take the back seat. And I'm so used to taking the back seat that being in the driver's position is like, I'm driving crazy. I'm like, I don't know where to go, kind of thing. I don't know what to do. Because I'm trying to think of the situation to where you kind of have, like, push me in the front, like, not like literally push me in the front, but like push me to where you're like, nah, like basically, nah, I'm not going to talk. Like, you talk first, kind of thing. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I think it's a good thing, because that, in a sense, is getting me out of my comfort zone where I tend to sit in social settings, or even if it's just talking to someone at a front desk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we're on vacation and had to go up to talking to people up there. I don't think it was that situation, but like, as an example, to where it's like, nah, like, you go. Like, nah, you go first. Nah, you go first, kind of thing. Like, where there are times, like, I get where you may want to sit in the back seat and not be the first one to speak. To where then I got to get up there and take the wheel.
You can do what it do.
But like, just looking back, I have seen moments where at first I was like, there's no way she's just like not wanting to talk. She's always, not that you're always talking. Like, I'm not saying that you just talk constantly, but more bubbly. You know what I mean? Just super friendly. To where in my mind it's like, oh, that's her. That's easy for her. She can do that. But it's like not everyone wants to be that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Or be that all the time.
Yeah.
I think that's just what it is.
Yeah. Because I don't want to be shy all the time. I don't.
Listen, y'all, we still figuring it out.
Yeah. That we are.
And here's to growing and evolving.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, seriously.
Literally before we hopped on here, like even before doing our previous episode, I thought to myself, like, life is literally a mental game. Like, oh, it's such a mental battle. It really is. It's such a mental battle. Because not only are you up against your own thoughts, but others. You know, and just sometimes I'm like, God, can I just be quiet? Like,
So I guess we can close this one out. That is the end of episode 8. Finding it hard to be our true selves in social and professional and social media settings. Social settings is similar to social media, right? Or no?
I wouldn't say.
No?
No, I feel like social media is your online presence.
Yeah.
Social settings is like...
Yeah, you're right, because I do be two different people. So yeah, you're right. You're right. But all right, I guess we can wrap it up. That is the end. I already said that before, of episode 8. We will see y'all next time.
Talk to y'all later and let us know in the comments what you think. Look, we want your opinion. Right. Your opinion matters. Your opinion matters.
No, for real. That's funny.
All right, talk to y'all later.
All right.